Walt Disney's Uncle Scrooge, the Lemonade King. Written by Carl Bark and Noam McGarry. Read by Uberduck.ai.
No, Uncle Scrooge.
Donald Duck said soothingly.
Calm down.
Uncle Scrooge stamped his foot. His glasses trembled. He scolded fiercely and smacked his fist on the counter of Scrooge's scrumptious lemonade parlor.
Permanently is stealing all my customers.
He roared.
I was making a bag full of money every day until he put up that stand over there.
Donald Duck looked down the beach. There was a crowd in front of the other stand. Over the roof loomed a huge sign which said,
"Come to Lemonade Lews for the biggest glass of lemonade in town."
Donald scratched his head.
Well, maybe don't put bigger glasses than yours.
He suggested.
And put up a bigger tent.
Uncle Scrooge thought. After a moment his glasses stopped trembling. His skull faded, and he began to smile. He murmured.
Perhaps you've got something there. I wonder.
The next day, when Donald came down to the beach, he was delighted to see a long line of customers in front of Scrooge's scrumptious lemonade parlor.
"Get your bucket full of lemonade here,"
said the sign on the roof, and it looked as if everyone on the beach were doing just that.
Come on, Uncle Scrooge.
Donald said happily.
That's who you doing so the customers while we go for swim to celebrate it.
Soon Donald was sailing along on his rubber horse, and Uncle Scrooge was floating on his rubber gold piece. Everything was as peaceful as peaches, when suddenly there was a roar from the beach.
Who got that?
Bellowed Uncle Scrooge, and he slipped right off the gold piece.
Everyone's running to Lemonade Lews.
The two bathers hurried back to shore and stared in horror at Lee's new sign. It said,
"Lemonade here, bring your own barrel."
The next morning Donald came to the beach bright and early. There had been a strange gleam in Uncle Scrooge's eyes last night, and Donald was eager to find out what it meant. He didn't have long to wait. His uncle was just hoisting a new sign into place.
"Lemonade, you bring the bathtub, we'll fill it."
The news spread fast. Soon a funny kind of parade came filing down the road from town. Everyone was carrying, pulling or pushing a bathtub. There were white tubs and pink ones, blue ones, and black and white marble ones. There was even one shaped like a big swan.
How's that for beating it at his very hand game?
Demanded Uncle Scrooge. He lit another gallon of lemonade into a purple tub. Donald swallowed.
Good, Uncle Scrooge, son. Hurry, Duck.
He pointed. Lemonade Lee was up on his roof painting a new notice over the old one. The new sign said,
"Take home a truck full of lemonade, you drive it, we'll fill it."
And once again the crowd was moving. Everyone who owned a truck or could borrowed one was on his or her way. Uncle Scrooge and Donald could only watch happily as Lemonade Lee used a hose to fill one truck after another.
Well,
Donald said finally.
I guess it's Uncle Scrooge.
But Uncle Scrooge was scolding fiercely once again. His glasses trembled and his hand shook as he scribbled some words on a sheet of paper and handed it to Donald.
Take this shopping list and get everything on it.
He roared.
I don't care if it takes every penny in my money bin. I want those things here by dawn tomorrow.
Donald stared at the list. It looked like this.
10 airplanes with pilots, 10 summit makers, 1 million lemons, 100 tons of sugar, 100,000 straws extra long.
Do as I say.
Roared Uncle Scrooge.
And hurry.
Donald hurried. Nobody ever disobeyed Uncle Scrooge. At least not when he looked like that. Filling the order was a hard job. But Donald had arranged for everything to be delivered to the beach at dawn the next morning. He meant to be there himself to see what Uncle Scrooge was going to do. But when his alarm went off, he was sleeping so soundly that he never heard it. When he finally awoke, people were running past his house, them laughing and talking as they hurried to the beach. Looked as if every human in Duck River were going. But Donald jumped up and fell out. And it wasn't long before he knew. He knew what the planes were for and what the cement makers were for. He knew why Uncle Scrooge needed 1 million lemons and tons of sugar and thousands of straws. Even knew why Lemonade Lee was trudging away from the beach, the only unhappy face in all that happy throng. For around the shores of the lake waited thousands of people with straws in their hands. Behind them, cement mix ground up thousands of juicy lemons, and overhead the airplanes dumped ground up lemons and tons of sugar down into the lake.
You've done it, Uncle Scrooge.
Donald shouted. But Uncle Scrooge was too busy to answer. He was rushing up and down the beach, collecting handfuls of money from everyone who wanted to try the whole lake full of lemonade. The end. And now a word from our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Woodsy Owl, and I'm here to tell you about a dirty word, water pollution. Kids, it's up to us to keep our lakes and streams clean and beautiful. We've been polluting the water with all kinds of junk like paper, cans, and gooey gunk. It looks ugly, and it's killing our fish and ducks. Please don't throw junk in the water. Give a hoot. Don't pollute.
In the city or in the woods, help keep America